So Sarah, want to talk to you about your trip to Europe?
Yeah, I was there at the end of May, early June. It was fantastic. I hadn't been in almost 20 years. And it was much cheaper this trip because the pound, I was in both London and Paris, so I was using both pounds and the euro.
Right.
And in both cases, when I was there 20 years ago, it would cost me about twice in American dollars what it costs in European or UK dollars. So it was great.
Yeah. And we're seeing a lot of Americans vacation in Europe.
Yes.
And we should talk about why the dollar is so strong right now.
So why is the dollar so strong?
So it's really dealing with the interest rates. So the increasing of interest rates increases the value of the dollar. And I remember back when I was stationed in Germany in 1980s, in the early 80s, we were increasing interest rates and the value of the dollar was going up against the Deutschmark.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we felt really wealthy as Americans in Europe. And in fact, I was doing a lot of traveling and doing a lot of skiing and buying fancy German automobiles and doing that kind of stuff.
Because you were getting paid in dollars.
It was 4 to 1. So a dollar is worth 4 Deutschmarks, and it's spent like a dollar. You know, a Deutschmark spent like a dollar. And so we're seeing a similar thing. We're increasing interest rates, and so the value of the dollar is going up against all world currencies, not just the euro or the pound, but also in Asia and the loonie in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of area. So the positive for Americans is they get to travel.
Yeah, it's great, but there is some downside to having a strong dollar. I mean, I want to preface this by saying too that we are actually still leading the economic recovery since COVID in the world. I mean, the U.S. is actually doing quite well. In fact, our real issue is the economy is running a little too hot, but.
Right.
But it does seem like the Federal Reserve's activities in raising rates is having a positive impact on inflation.
It will to a point.
To a point.
So now what's going to happen is it's going to make American goods more expensive to sell on the world market.
Which could mean that we sell fewer goods.
And a slowdown of our economy is what we could see from that area.
It's like a domino effect here, it seems. Like every little thing then creates
a chain reaction.
Yeah.
So the other thing we should talk about is natural gas. So we're exporting huge amounts of natural gas to Europe because they need it desperately, and we said that in an earlier video. And what that means is a higher dollar will make natural gas more expensive to the European market.
And it's already so much more expensive there than it is here.
Correct. So we're seeing that in the U.S., the natural gas prices will go up, but even more so in Europe, which could lead to a major recession in Europe.
In Europe. And I mean, not only did they have a record heat wave this summer, which required more energy costs in order to cool things down, but also Americans are traveling to Europe more, which exacerbates the pressure on their energy.
And so the problem is in Europe right now, they don't have enough stock of natural gas. Normally in the summer they stock up in natural gas, and with the Russia reducing their supply of natural gas, and with all the demand going on in the hot summer, they're not stocking enough.
Mm-hmm. So what happens if Europe goes into a recession? How does that impact us?
Well, there's a good possibility that it'll spill over to our economy then. So we could see a continuation of the recession we're in now, and maybe even kind of worse than what we're seeing, and maybe not the soft landing that everyone's kind of talking about right now.
Well, that's gloomy. Gloomy note to end this video on, but...
Well, let's keep in mind, though, the stock market goes up during a period of recession. It goes down before the recession, but it goes up during the recession.
Right.
So although everyone's talking gloom and doom on the news, you want to be taking advantage of the situation. And what you should do is give us a call, and we'll be glad to show you some of our strategies and what we think is going to be doing well, so you can take advantage of the situation.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching.